Next up, let's queer up business. Bud Light boycott over LGBTQ plus cost Anheuser-Busch over $1 billion in sales. Anheuser-Busch InBev, the world's largest brewer, faced a significant financial setback due to a backlash following its brief collaboration with a transgender influencer to promote Bud Light beer. Now, despite reporting record revenues for 2023, AB InBev revealed that its U.S. business was constrained, with sales taking a hit because of a boycott of Bud Light triggered by a sponsored Instagram post featuring Dylan Mulvaney. In North America, organic revenue plummeted by a staggering $1.4 billion last year. The backlash was so severe that Mexican lager Modelo Especial surpassed Bud Light as America stopped selling beer the following month, ending Bud Light's two-decade reign. Although Bud Light has been slowly regaining lost market share since last May, AB InBev CEO informed investors that the pace of recovery remains slow, with only a marginal improvement of 1.2 percentage points reported by February. Additionally, the company's Asia company, Bud APAC, saw its shares close nearly 7% lower in Hong Kong due to a decline in profits attributable to shareholders, partly because of a one-off customs charge in South Korea. Furthermore, sales volumes in China fell in the fourth quarter despite double-digit growth in sales of premium brands. Is this the impact of the boycott over supporting the LGBTQ plus community? If yes, where does it leave the community on the corporate landscape of America? And we were actually talking before we started tonight about so many companies that have benefited from the buying power, the spending power of the LGBT plus community. And it breaks my heart to see brands suffer, the brands that are standing behind us. And it feels like, I don't know, everyone should be drinking a Bud Light with every single
at home,
meal.
Grab a Bud Light right now if you're watching along. It's to me it gives complete little dick energy, you know, just to kind of say it out there. PG-13 at home, but I can't say I'm surprised that their sales have not changed because it was a bold move. In my opinion, it was the right move, but it's not. We're not seeing it play out how we thought it would play out, in my opinion.
I'm always really cynical of these kind of corporate LGBTQ stuff because at the end of the day, right, consumers, it's in every corporation's advantage to really think about all consumers, right? And that includes LGBTQ people, right? Like that is, if Bud Light is so offended by this, then they don't want, or do they not want, LGBTQ consumers in the future? Like that is, if this is such a big take on their profit margin, it's not. Like that is, they've also gotten a great deal of free advertisement over they did the right thing, and we have to commend them for it, no doubt, and we support them for those kinds of things and push them moving in that direction, right? But that is, we also have, as a community, we have to flex our economic muscle,
Flex it,
right?
Flex it.
And we choose who to pay and who to purchase and who to support, and that, so that they can continue making these kinds of decisions. I always think that in short term, things don't always look exactly as they will once you zoom out and kind of think long term.
Yeah. I think it's important also that we don't lose sight of the fact that this was a trans representative.
Right.
That's
the most important part of
it's not just supporting Bud Light, but it's also supporting the trans community when they're forward and they're visible and they're representing us as well.
I think what's most disappointing is that, other large corporations have taken such notice that behind the curtain, they're talking about how maybe they want to take a step back. And I know we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And it's really transcended a decline for support to our community, where I wish a couple corporations would have stood up and said, you know what, our support of the community, overall community, the inclusive community, we're doing better because we serve equality. We do better because we serve the Hispanic community, the women's right for equal pay, and for the LGBTQ community and the transgender community. We're doing better. And I wish corporations would have stood up and said, Bud Light, you might have got kicked here a little bit where you didn't like to get kicked, but you know what, overall, supporting equality, diversity, inclusion serves companies better in the long run. This might have been a little obstacle, a hit in the road, but I wish more people and more companies and more media would have talked about the strength of the support of our community versus the time or two that it hurt them a little
I
bit.
agree.
said. Well
Nothing fabulous and successful is easy.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to sometimes.
And you have hurdles.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta
could that
get through it.
campaign been done a little different? Maybe,
Right.
but I still wanted the same initiative out there because there's a community that needs to be served that's been held back and set back, and our transgender community deserves a voice. And I'm proud that Bud Light took the shot at it.
Well
If it
said.
cost them $1.4 billion, so be it. How about Target, you standing up and talking about how much the community has served you and given you big revenues and changed your bottom line? Home Depot, American Express, you know, all these big companies, they're doing better because we love them and we support their brand because we're loyal.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah,
said.
I think that also speaks to the power of the industry players and who's silent, right? Because this could have been an opportunity for us, other beer companies to come out
step
and
up.
say, well, you know what, we're going to invest in this
Right.
as an industry
Right.
and say, you know, okay, well, no matter what beer brand you drink, beer is gay now. So I think, you know, there's an opportunity there, and it shows you, the silence also shows you who doesn't support
said.
the movement.
And what's
Really
really
well done.
disappointing, it became politicized when our friend up in Tallahassee goes out in California and stands behind a bar holding a Bud Light. Don't drink Bud Light. It is really disappointing that a human being could actually sit there and say that a person that was born on this planet should be treated differently and that you should drink a beer because of it.
Well,
It's disgusting.
unfortunately, it's only going to get worse.
Now, well,
With tonight's articles, we have to.
well,
you know,
we're here to talk about how we can help
And-
impact some inspiration and make it better.
and this is the platform that is needed to do it.
That's
you know,
right.
and it's important. Beautifully said, my friend.
Yeah. All
Great
right.
job.